So would you like to talk about how animation and visual effects can help to drive your storytelling in the future, and what can we all do for you that will help to make that globally successful?
First of all, being a 90s kid, I am one of those people who grew up with a lot of animation and comics. I've been attracted to graphic novels very early on. I actually have a mini library of my own. I still remember when I was 10 years old, I would go to old bookshops or the scrapyards, and they would actually give comics to me for like 30 Indian rupees per kilo because they didn't know the value of it. And now
What
when
by weight? You used to buy them by weight.
yes. So now when people know a lot about it and they ask me, where did you get this from? And I'm like, you have no idea their lengths. It was not costly, but it took effort for me to get it. And I still believe as a filmmaker and as a storyteller, it has influenced a lot in the way I interpret my ideas. And personally, I love surrealism as an art form, and I write down a lot of my ideas from my dreams. I have a journal. And I believe that animation is one of those mediums through which it can be realized. I have always been in awe, even now, at what it can do and how it can surpass live action filmmaking. One of the things that actually bothered me when I was a teenager was how a lot of people had this misunderstanding that animation is for kids, which is not so. I believe that it can be very profound. One of my favorite films in the top three, it was I Lost My Body. It's on Netflix. Um, it's I watched it twice, and it's so rarely happens that I watch a film twice and I feel the same kind of emotional connect. So if we can go an extra mile from live action filmmaking in connecting with the audience, in realizing the emotions that human beings and as a species we are made of, then we should definitely go that extra mile, and we shouldn't hold back. And again, as I said, it's just not for the kids. I mean, at the end of the day, we all have a kid in ourselves, and it should be pretty much seen the way live action filmmaking is seen, and it just broadens our perspective and expression.
Thank you for that.
Thank you.
What is the one thing that we can do that is going to increase our business, our cooperation, and our working together? What's the first thing that comes to mind? One recommendation that we can do between government, academia. You heard skills, you heard future tech, you've heard promotion councils, you've heard how to create productions, you looked at co-productions, you looked at a particular use case of a project. So and someone who doesn't believe in one project at a time, right? He's got a quarter of a dozen already in one market. So how does all this? What's the starting point?
So there are like a couple of questions that I keep asking myself. One is the use of animatronics in films.
Good.
We have n number of engineers in the country.
Yes.
And I just wish they had more opportunities to conventionally look at engineering. I mean, they could actually branch out into filmmaking, and that could be a separate industry by itself. I love the work of, I forgot the studio, Spectral Motion. They have been doing terrific work, and I wished India had more of such venues for engineers to excel when it comes to filmmaking. And when it comes to virtual production, we have young filmmakers, animators, and so much of visual effects people being born out of bedrooms in front of the computer. I have friends with whom I work. There's a friend called Jihad Mohammed. He's just 19 years old, and he met with an accident, and he was home-ridden for 2 years. And he found Unreal Engine as that one opportunity to experience outer world within his confines. And he is a very good artist right now. He sold his first NFT for 2 Ethereums, I guess. And that kind of brings me to this question. I love what you have been doing in Karnataka, and I really hope that branches out to Kerala, because I personally know a lot of talent there, and I wish they had bigger opportunities and venues.
I would just like to say to you that in the vision that you very briefly heard from the secretary, the proposal, not finalized yet, in the draft stage of the National Center of Excellence, is for it not to be in a single location, but to have hubs in different places that will connect into it. So more on that as the task force advances, but your inputs, and we didn't cover that in our conversation, that infrastructure and technology is expensive at an individual level, but if it is available collectively in one place, then individual people can use it. And good to know that the bedroom is the maternity ward for the future of animation. Go to the next one, please.
Thank you.
Right.